In this video, I'll go over the new DLC, which you all probably know by now is called They Shall Not Pass. The DLC will be available on March 14th to premium members, with access for all slated for March 28th. So over the last week, I've had access to the CTE and was able to play some of the new maps and use some of the new weapons. Unfortunately, because of my issues with my capture card, I wasn't able to get any footage of the new maps or the weapons, but I'll try my best to describe them, not only in a game sense, but also in a historical sense as well. Fort de Vaux. I'm actually not sure why they named it Fort de Vaux, when I believe the actual name was Fort Vaux. This fort fell in what was part of the Battle of Verdun. It took place between the French and German armies, with the defense of the fort marked by the heroism and endurance of the garrison. As the story was told, one of the main reasons the garrison gave up the fort was because they ran out of water. It was believed that the Germans had actually poisoned some of it, as well as they were running out of ammunition, medical supplies, and food. This map, while made particularly for close quarter combat, is just well made compared to other small maps like Argonne Forest or Operation Locker and Metro from Battlefield 4. Those were just linear maps. One team starts on one end, the other one on the other end, and heads butt in the middle of the map with very little room to flank. Fort Vaux offers something different, where the map is a little bit more circular with less choke points. Easily my new favorite map in the game. Soissons, what many believe to be the turning point in the war. They say that after the attack on Soissons on July 18th and 19th of 1918, that the German army would never mount another offensive. The battle took place between the Germans and the French with some help from the Americans. The battle ended with the French recapturing most of the ground lost to the Germans back in the spring offensive. Adolf Hitler actually won an award, which was the Iron Cross First Class at Soissons in August of 1918. This map features everything anyone might want in a map. Small town battle? Check. Trench warfare? Check. Fighting in a building? Check. The one problem I have with this map? Tanks, and more armor. There are plenty of open fields on this map where tanks can play, but watch out infantry. Don't get in their way. This map includes the new behemoth Char 2 sea tank, which is huge. I would say 1.5 to twice as big as a regular in-game tank. It seats 5 players and can be taken anywhere on the map, which is a big change from the rail-mounted armored car. Rupture. In dire need to capture the key bridges across the Aisne River, the French find themselves back into the battlefields where poppies grow over a rusty wreck from previous tank battles. It might seem calm, but this maze of steel beasts provides an excellent place for those who plan an ambush. As the sun sets over Fontenoy, the battle wakes up. It's a little description from Battlefield.com. This is a beautiful map. The setting, outright gorgeous. The gameplay, not so much. There is a mix of everything. Infantry, planes, ground armor. The River Aisne parts this map in two. What I've experienced when playing is that one team holds one half of the map, the other team the other half, and everyone fights over at B, which is overlooking the bridge. This is what would happen, I would say, 40% of the time. The other 60% of the time? A Suez situation where one team would get their asses handed to them. Hopefully this changes once the DLC is released, but I have my doubts. Verdun Heights. We didn't get to play this map in the CTE, but as described on Battlefield.com, the opening barrage of the Battle of Verdun created massive forest fires. The map is an uphill map that leads to the massive fortress of Verdun. On the morning of February 21st, the German assault on Verdun, a titanic struggle fated to be the greatest battle in the history to that point, opened with an equally record-setting artillery bombardment. Starting gradually at around 7 a.m. and reaching a crescendo at 3 p.m., over 1,400 carefully concealed guns of all sizes dumped high explosives, shrapnel, and gas on a 10-kilometer stretch of the French front line north of Verdun, saturating the enemy's defenses with a mind-boggling million shells in the first day of battle alone. The bombardment would continue virtually uninterrupted for 5 days, consuming 2.5 million shells and converting the pristine snowy landscape into a nightmarish expanse of muddy craters, shattered trees, and leveled villages. The new game mode is called Frontlines and will consist of a mix between Conquest and Rush. This is a tug-of-war type of game mode. The first phase will consist of both teams fighting for one flag at a time. Win that objective, and you move on to the next until you push the enemy back to their base. By pushing the enemy back into their base, the game turns into a rush-style game, where telegraph posts need to be attacked or defended. A failed attack on the telegraphs will lead both teams back to the initial flag objective phase. The game ends when both telegraphs are destroyed. So here's a list of new weapons available in this DLC. I'll go over a little description of each weapon, their basic stats, as well as the unlock requirements for each. While there are also new secondary and melee weapons available, I will just go over the primary weapons for now. Let's see if I can say this one right. The Ribby Rolls 1918 Factory. Not even sure if I said that right. This is a new factory variant of the submachine gun for the assault class. It is equipped with a bipod and is more accurate under fire compared to other SMGs in the class. The hip fire looks to be the same as the trench variations of the MP18 and the Automatico, but with a rate of fire of only 550 rounds per minute, which is the same as the MP18. To unlock the weapon, you will need to perform 50 kills with the Automatico Factory, and you will also need to perform 20 headshots with the MP18 Optical. The RSC 1917 Factory. This weapon will come in two variants, the Factory and the Optical. The weapon has great stability and will be a favorite in the meta class. The difference between the two variants is that the Optical version will have much more recoil, at the added benefit of accuracy though. Where many people might stay away from the weapon is its slow rate of fire, which only clocks in at 164 rounds per minute. Still, this is a 2 to 3 shot kill at most distances. To unlock the Factory variant, you will need to perform 50 kills with the M1907 SL Sweeper and also perform 50 revives. For the Optical variant, you will need to perform 15 kills with the auto-loading 835 Factory, as well as perform 75 heals. Note that the unlock for the Optical, both these feats need to be accomplished in the same round. The Fusil Mitrailleur Modèle 1915 CSRG, or better known in BF1 as the Shosha, will come in two variants, a telescopic and a low-weight version. This rifle was the standard LMG used by the French army during World War I. This is easily the weapon I like most from the CTE. The control on this gun is insane, and while the rate of fire is moderate for an LMG, it makes up for it with a better damage profile. To unlock the telescopic, you'll need to perform 15 kills with the M1909 Benet Mercier telescopic, and that's in a round, and also perform 10 kills with the mortar. To unlock the Shosha low weight, you'll need to perform 50 kills with the Lewis gun suppressive, as well as perform 75 resupplies. The Labelle Modèle 1886, a new rifle for the Scout class. It is an 8mm bolt-action rifle that was first used by the French Army in 1887. The sweet spot for this rifle is a go-between the SMLE Mark III and the Russian 1895. There are also two variants of this weapon, the infantry and sniper variant. To unlock the infantry version, you'll need to perform 50 kills with the Gewehr M95 infantry, as well as perform 20 spot flare assists. To unlock the sniper variant, you'll need to perform 5 headshots with the Russian 1895 sniper, that's in a round, and perform 10 periscope spot assists. The Sjogren Inertial Factory, a 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun. Have great aim, and this weapon will be a beast for you. Have iffy aim, and get ready to have your butt handed to you. The rate of fire on this weapon is respectable, but of course, have a faster rate of fire, and what the developers generally do, they decrease the damage, which is exactly what happened in this case. Personally, I just don't understand who will actually use this shotgun. Trying to one-shot with this thing will be futile, especially with its 13 pellets at a damage rate of 8.5. Miss with 2 of those pellets, which is very possible, and you're SOL. Anyway, I'm sure someone will find a place for it in his arsenal, but it just won't be me. So that's pretty much it, guys, when it comes to the new maps and primary weapons available in the new DLC. Again, the release dates are March 14th for premium owners and March 28th for the rest. Keep liking and subscribing, and keep an eye out for new videos. Thanks again for watching.
We have taken objective apples.